Nothing we say is investment advice. Please pause on all 3 pages of this disclaimer and read it.
Greetings, Algo Artisans. Nick here, and it is Monday. It is 4:10 in the afternoon, September the 29th. We're going to take a look at the charts for this week. Before we get into it, get your free algo. Link is in the description. What we're also going to do is let you know when we have some of our trainings that are coming up. We have had some live trading. We had it a couple of weeks ago. We're going to probably have it again next week, possibly this week. Either way, we'll let you know when these things are coming. Just give us a real name, fake name, we don't care, and we'll send you that data. All right, we're going to take a look today at the NASDAQ, USDJPY, BTCUSD, that's Bitcoin, EURUSD, AUDUSD, GBPJPY, and gold. Before we do that, we're going to take a look at the economic data that's coming out this week over on forexfactory.com. Okay, so this week is going to be a nice typical week. Not a lot happened today. Later tonight or tomorrow morning if you're down under at 12:30 a.m. EST, the Royal Bank of Australia does their cash rate and rate statement, and then they have their press conference not too long after that, about 1 hour later. Tuesday, Canada has a bank holiday. Not much going to happen for the CAD. There is jobs data, job openings at 10 a.m. EST. Wednesday, 8:15 a.m. EST, we have ADP non-farm employment change. 10 a.m. is the ISM manufacturing PMI, and China's on bank holiday for Tuesday and Wednesday as well. Bear that in mind. Swiss franc CPI coming out at 2:30 a.m. EST on Thursday, and then Thursday 8:30 a.m. is unemployment claims, and then 9 p.m. Bank of Japan Governor Ueda speaks, and apparently China is also on bank holiday on Thursday. Friday is a German bank holiday. That's October the 3rd. 8:30 a.m. a lot of data comes out for the U.S. We have average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change again, and we have the unemployment rate. And at 10 a.m. we have ISM services PMI. Let's jump into the charts. We'll start with the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ is always kind of tricky. It gets held up. We have the Trump put or the Powell put or whatever put you want to call it, and price may just kind of slide back up to its highs. It might happen this week. I have that as this blue dotted line right there. That's not very algorithmically sound though. If I just follow the algos, I would expect price to kind of respect these levels that I've written here. You have this 24,800 level. Price could just kind of stay above that and go sideways for the rest of the week and then start to turn back up. And there's another level here at 24,745, and it could bounce there as well. So we could get a pullback or it could just go sideways. Let's take a look at USDJPY. The level to look at for USDJPY is 148.39. You could even say a little bit higher there at 148.43. I expect price to more or less go sideways or bounce. Now, it's pretty bearish, so if there is a bounce right here, it could be a pretty weak bounce and kind of start to go sideways. We are starting to see price head up a little bit, so I will draw what that might look like. If it's more of an extreme bounce, it might respect this range right here and sort of go up to 149.12. That might be the highest that it goes based on some prior data, but I don't expect that. I expect more sideways action, and if there is a bounce, it would be a relatively weak bounce. That does remain to be seen, and a lot can happen, and remember, Governor Ueda does speak later this week, so that could throw some of this off. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just strong. In fact, it's going up even faster than I thought. I thought I might take a break here and go up later, but it looks as if it's just going to plow right on up. If it does continue to make its way up without taking a break, then 18,000, really 117,965. That's my area. There's a resistance right there, and I would expect it to slow down around that time, and it could happen very quickly. This is Bitcoin. Given the way the price has been moving, I expect some kind of a break. It might happen maybe here. It might happen later. I don't expect a straight move up. I expect it to take a break and really at any time. But that's just some trajectories. It's very bullish right now on the daily, and while it could head down, I don't expect that. Let's look at the euro. EURUSD, not expecting a lot. The areas I look for resistance and support are going to be 118.20 for the resistance and 116.46. I don't think the price will go above or below those two areas. I think we just get a sideways move into the week. The euro has finally started to weaken. The dollar is getting strong. In fact, a lot of the turnaround that we saw last week is from the dollar getting strong. It's just what we're seeing. It's a change in the markets. There's a lot of geopolitical talk about that. I'm not going to get too far into that because it's a complex situation and we're just trading. What I can tell you is that the dollar looks like it is getting stronger, and we'll also see it here with the Aussie dollar. Let's take a look. right? You see that peak, dollar getting stronger, pulling this pair down. I expect this to run up, and the areas I would look at as far as the levels to consider where price might bounce or reject, low side is 65.73 cents. If price does pull back down, it probably would bounce there. It may knock its head on 66.06 cents, but it might also break up. I think there's a relatively strong resistance at 66.27. I expect sideways and up for the week. Let's take a look at GBPJPY, aka the beast. This has just been sloppy and sideways, and I expect about the same. The lower level I look at is 199.19, and if we get a move up, I would expect it to reject at 250 Japanese yen. That's 200.5 Japanese yen, and I expect price to just kind of mosey to the side and bounce off that lower level at some point. Let's take a look at gold. Gold, just bullish. It may take a break here, it may not. I'm going to look at projections. We do have a target here that I mapped out of about 38.90. That's a big target. A lot of people are looking at 4,000. Some people might want to sell before that. And so I'm just looking at, like I did last week, trajectories. I think minimally it goes sideways. I think it's going to go up. I don't think it'll pull back, but we could get kind of a longer pullback if it continues up and we see some profit taking. We may see it pull back a little bit. I think 38.90 is kind of a decent look for this trajectory. It could go above that, and everybody's looking at 4,000. That's the big psychological number. I don't know that we're going to see that this week, but I think we'll see it before the end of the year. What we do at Algo Factory is we teach people how to predict where price is going to go and to be able to use that data to extract money from the market. Now, the predictions you see today are just a general idea of which way the wind is blowing. I don't really use that in trading. I use that for my bias, but what we do is we calculate where price is going to go and when it's going to get there, and then we use that to, like I said, regularly extract money from the markets. We're very good at this. So go on over to algofactory.tech. You could even get that free algo. Link is in the description. That'll put you on a list and it'll show you how to get over to us. If you want to learn how to trade like a hedge fund pro, come on over. We look forward to seeing you. Remember, we are live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8:30 a.m. EST, and we take a look at the charts and we dig a little bit deeper. And if there are trades, we find them and take them. So I hope to see you there. Thanks again for watching.